When my heart was a rock, I knew it was gold.
Someone could change it, like an alchemist of old.
You came along, gave my heart birth.
Now our love's more precious than anything on earth. Transformation, you're changing me with fire. Transformation, your flame is my desire. Transformation. Okay, AJ, see if this works for you.
All right.
You ready? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Old friend, will you be there till the end? My old friend.
We can put a Beatles spin on that.
One way or another, I'll be there like a brother. It's hard to measure what you've meant. You're
Yes, I'll
always
get it
something
done.
different to
Yes,
me.
this week.
My old friend. Billy! Just starting to sound good.
Sorry.
Dude, we've got a serious problem here.
Did you look at all this stuff? We're running out of practice space.
Dude, what are we gonna do with all this garbage?
It's not garbage, it's our recyclables.
Why don't you just throw it all out?
Because my parents want to start recycling.
So what's it doing in the middle of the garage?
It has to be separated first.
I know that, so why don't you separate it?
No. We don't have time for this. Besides, it's his trash.
Whoa. When we practice here, it's not his garage or his electricity, but now it's his trash?
Okay. Why don't we all separate the trash?
Okay, we gotta make 3 different piles. We got the newspaper pile, and then the recyclable bottles and cans, and returnable bottles and cans. We can make some money off those.
Good.
And this stuff just goes in the other pile. It's just trash.
The average American generates a ton of solid waste every year, more than 5 pounds every single day.
A lot of bottles and cans. I thought my garage was crowded, you know?
Sure is. About 200 tons a day we do of recycling here. The way it works is the bottles and cans are all mixed together, or commingled, we call it. We have the plastic milk jugs, plastic soda bottles, aluminum cans, tin cans, all mixed in there together. They get dumped on the right-hand side of the plant, and the newspaper gets dumped over there on the left. So this is just the recyclable portion. I mean, looking at this, about a day's worth of bottles and cans and a day's worth of newspaper, this is just 15 to 20% of the waste stream. The other part of the waste has to go to the landfill next door.
You can't do anything with that?
Right, it's just not, we're just not able to recycle it yet. Either the technology isn't there to separate and process it, or the markets aren't there to use the material again in new products.
Well, what kind of stuff is that?
Well, that's things like food waste, other kinds of plastics besides milk jugs and soda bottles. The markets aren't available yet. Things like magazines. That's something that we're not yet able to recycle. It's got color, it's got glossy materials, and it's got short fibers.
It's just got too many elements in it to be recycled.
Exactly. It's too many elements, too complicated to break it down and reuse it for pulp and making new paper products.
How come you don't have people do all that separating at home? I mean, that'd save you a lot of work, wouldn't it?
It would save us work, but it'd be less convenient. we built this plant with the separating equipment so people at home wouldn't have to separate their materials, their bottles from each other.
You don't think they'd do it if you made them separated? It just wouldn't be worth their while.
Probably a lot less people would participate in our program if they had to separate each type of plastic and each type of can and colored glass.
Yeah, I can see that. They'd have to separate out aluminum cans, green glass bottles, clear plastic bottles, steel cans, green plastic bottles, milk jugs, clear glass bottles. I don't really think that most people would be willing to do that much separating.
And that's why we have this plant, to reduce the amount of labor that the person has to do and make it more convenient to recycle. That way we think we get more stuff diverted from the landfill.
Okay, so you've got all this stuff all mixed up, so what do you do with it now?
It's got no value all mixed together. We got to send it into the system to separate all the materials from each other and then load it into trucks when it goes to the market. So this is where the separation process starts in the recycling system. The first thing we do is pull off things which aren't recyclable. The wrong kind of plastic, plastic bags, tramp metal, appliances.
I see them pulling out ketchup bottles. How come those can't be recycled with the rest of it?
Oh, the plastic ketchup bottles are made out of a different kind of plastic than your milk jugs and soda bottles. They're a contaminant to those two types. They don't mix. So right after that, we have an overhead magnet.
A magnet, yeah.
That's right. You can see all the tin cans just getting pulled right off the belt and sent into a shredder. And that shredder has an air classifier which acts like a vacuum and sucks the labels in one direction, and the tin from the cans falls in another direction.
So that's another device that makes it more convenient for people at home because they don't have to, remove the labels off anything that they send in.
Yeah, that's right. And right after the magnet is a shaker table with 2-inch holes, and anything that's less than 2 inches falls through the holes and gets sorted out. After the shaker table, we have a pretty unique piece of equipment called an incline sorting machine. And that sorting machine separates the glass from all the other materials.
Because it's heavy enough to just fall right through the little curtains there.
That's right.
While the plastic and aluminum stays up top.
That's right. The glass rolls down the incline, and the plastics and aluminum get swept to the side.
Whoa! Why are those cans flying off there for?
Yeah, that's the eddy current magnet separating the aluminum.
Well, magnet, but aluminum isn't magnetic.
That's true. It's not magnetic like steel, but it's a different kind of magnet. There's a magnet inside that rotating drum which sets up an electrical field.
Oh, so then it's the field that makes them fly off like that.
That's right. So the plastics aren't affected by the field. They fall off the machine and then they go to the plastic sorting line where the two types of plastics are sorted from each other.
How come you have a guy just doing that? I mean, why not have some kind of machine doing it?
Well, it's a good question. There are machines which are technically able to separate the two types of plastics from each other, but that machine is just so expensive that it's not cost effective for us to put it into our plant. So that's about how the whole separation system works, and once the materials are separated, they get packaged, I'd say, so that you can load them into a truck and ship them to their markets.
Whoa! More flying cans.
That's right, those are the flattened aluminum cans getting blown into the trailer that will take them off to get recycled.
So this trailer's going to go straight to the mill, and that's where they'll actually do the recycling work.
That's right.
Over 55 billion aluminum cans a year are recycled. Stacked end to end, they'd make up more than 15 towers to the moon.
So the aluminum cans are our most valuable recyclable. We sell them for up to $1,000 a ton, and that really helps to make the whole program work.
Yeah. It must save a lot of energy, too.
That's what makes them so valuable, is it takes only about 5% of the energy to make a new can from an old can as it does to start from the very beginning and mine the ore and make the can out of that.
Yeah. And this aluminum gets recycled right back into cans again.
That's right. The aluminum cans are made into new aluminum cans But that's different than plastic bottles, which are made into other things and not back into recycled plastic bottles.
But the cans are a continuous loop, continuous
That's right.
cycle.
It's a closed loop recycling is what they call that.
Glad that's done.
You know, I bet if we didn't buy stuff with so much packaging, we wouldn't even have so much trash.
I buy what I like. I mean, come on. I'm not going to pass on it just because it has too much packaging on it. Sounds like a hassle, man.
And this isn't? Why don't you start by using things a little bit more efficiently?
Well, if you're so concerned about waste, why don't you try conserving electricity a little more, Miss Blow Dryer?
Excuse me? Like this?
You know, I was just thinking.
Oops, we're in trouble now.
No, really. Recycling is kind of like reincarnation.
What?
Oh, yeah.
No. Check this out. All right. What was this can before? Part of a mountain? And how many miles did it travel before it got here? And what will it become next time? A roll of aluminum foil?
Well, if it's lucky, it'll be the hubcaps on a Ferrari.
Or it'll ascend to a higher plane and be the wing of a jet.
Well, let's, come on, let's bag this stuff and get it done.
You guys, we can reuse these. Recycle them.
Simone, it's one bag. What's one plastic bag, more or less?
Plastics are very big. By volume, plastic is about 20% of all solid waste. But it's light. Plastics are only about 7% of all solid waste by weight.
That's right. Communities all over the country are looking for ways to get rid of these things and keep them out of the landfills. And here we can't get enough of them.
You mean this isn't enough?
Unfortunately, it's not. We use over 100 million pounds of plastic soda bottles every year to produce fiber.
Well, since plastics are made out of petroleum, you must be saving a lot of oil, too.
That's right, because traditionally the products that we manufacture from a soda bottle came from a chemical or petrochemical feedstock. So by making them out of material that's already there, we save all of that petrochemical feedstock as a raw material.
So you go out and get these bottles yourself?
We don't actually gather it from each individual citizen in the community. What we do is we work with waste haulers and other types of collection facilities that consolidate it into a central location. We have to have a minimum of 30,000 pounds on a truckload when we ship it. That's a lot of plastic. Well, the problem we have is that a soda bottle is actually made out of two different kinds of plastic. For example, the bottle itself is made out of polyethylene terephthalate, or PET, and the base cup is made out of high-density polyethylene, or HDPE. Now, all PET is polyester. That's what we use to make our fiber. Unfortunately, the base cup comes along with the bottle.
Well, why don't you just take the bottom off?
Well, unfortunately for us, it's not that simple. When they put the base cup on, they use a very, very stringent glue, which makes it hard to just pull off. And in the big scheme, it doesn't make it economical to have to tug with each bottle to pull the base cup off.
Right.
It's ground up into a flake at this point, and it's clean. And as you can feel, it's dry. All that is soda bottle that's been ground up into a flake. Pretty neat, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hot. Why is it so crispy and dry?
Well, because it goes through a drying process that really makes it really humid-free and dry.
So how does this help? Seems like now you have a whole bunch of little pieces of plastic.
Well, what you're seeing right here is the end product. It's already gone through the separation process to take the base cup out of it. This is just the soda bottle.
So how do you take the base cup off?
Well, what we use is a sink float technique. Basically, everything has a relative density to water. So what we do is we put it in a big tank with water. When we put the PET soda bottles in the tank, its relative density to water is greater, so it will sink in the tank. The base cup made out of high-density polyethylene has less density than water.
So it floats.
It floats to the top, and then all you have to do is skim the stuff off the top and skim the stuff off the bottom.
So what now? Do you make new bottles?
Unfortunately, no. The FDA will not allow to use recycled plastic in food packaging.
Fortunately for our company, though, we have developed many products that have longer shelf life than recycled bottles. The next step in this process is the fiber plant, where we make polyester fiber from this material. This is the final step in the process. We saw the last part in the last building where we had a clean PET plate. Now, in this building, what we're doing is we're drawing the material down through a die, and then it's passing over these wheels to put a final finish on it.
You must have to melt it down to get it into this form.
Yes, we have to melt it down to the temperature about 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And once we've done that, as I said, it comes down through the die, over the finishing wheel, and it starts to go down this line into a container at the end here.
Wow. So it's in thread form. Do you make it into clothes?
Not right now. We don't make clothing out of it. We don't have the technology yet to make clothes from this fiber. Some of the products that we are making, however, are geotextiles, carpet, batting for furniture, pillow stuffing, and then fiber fill for ski jackets and sleeping bags, things of that nature.
A lot of soda bottles, huh?
It's pretty amazing, huh? All of this fiber and all these products out of soda bottles.
Friend, will you be there till the end? My old friend, one way or another, you'll be there like a brother. It's hard to measure what you meant. You're always something different to me. My old
Hey, deep dish double cheese with olives, onions, and anchovies on one slice. Right, pizza dude?
You got it. $10.50?
All right, keep the change.
Thanks.
Not a bad reward for an hour of labor. 210 redeemable bottles and cans equals one pizza.
It's not a gig, but it'll do for now.
Hey, we'll get a gig. We'll blow the world's ears off. We're getting hot.
This place looks so much better now that we recycled all the trash.
Yeah, we probably used up a gallon of gas doing it.
In Billy's car, probably two.
Polluted the air.
Yeah, but it would be more polluted if we didn't recycle.
And now we're right back where we started from. How? Generating more trash. Day